Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to the Oracle of Light channel. My name is SP Psychic Medium. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So on today's show, we're going to be looking at the case where the FBI have just arrested a federal judge. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy. We're going to be looking at that, what happened in that, and then we're going to be doing a tarot card reading to see what the cards say about how that case will go. It's going to be a real interesting show. But first of all, let's welcome all my new lovely subscribers, and all welcome to the viewers from around the world for watching this beautiful show. So nice to see you all watching. Thanks so much. And before we begin as well, don't forget to give a thumbs up and do subscribe below. It's free to subscribe, and it really, really does mean a lot as well. Today's readings and the show is for entertainment purposes only as well, as we know on every show. So today's show is quite crazy. When I heard it, I was like, really? Really? You what? I can't believe that. So let me just go through what's happened. The FBI was sent to arrest a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge named Judge Hannah Durgan. The feds wanted to arrest the guy in the courtroom, and she's alleged to have said that if you want to arrest him, do it outside of my courtroom. He could do it at his home, outside the courtroom, but not in her court, because obviously the judge presides over their court. The feds, however, said no. And so what they did then was the individual named Eduardo Riviers, I believe, or something like that, went out, and the feds arrested him later, but charged the judge with obstruction for helping him escape the courtroom, allegedly. So this is what they're saying. Now, obviously we have to remember that she presides over her courtroom, and she was actually administering justice here, she was a justice, that they've arrested. And also on Friday, they actually cuffed the judge in her own courtroom, which is something that is unheard of. And we have to remember that this regime, the Felon 45 regime that cuffed her, does not want to follow due process. Remember, there's a lot of cases where they're not following due process. And of course, that is justice. Due process is justice in action. And so on one hand, you have them not following due process, and on the other hand, you have arresting judges. It's really disturbing actions. And so obviously, I suspect they don't have a case on, and I think she'll win her case out and out, because what they're doing is almost like trying to promote injustice here. Remember, they do not support due process, and they've arrested this judge in her courtroom. She said they could arrest him, but just not in the courtroom, but they decided to not listen to that. And yeah, so this is what they've done. So I thought it would be really interesting in the show today to use the tarot and oracle cards to go over everything and to see. Well, I'll show you the question. This is a question that we're going to be looking at today. I'll just put that on as well. So the question we're going to be looking at today is, how will the case go for the judge that has been arrested by the FBI? Let's ask the cards and see what the cards say at this moment. So this is our question we're going to be looking at today. Really interesting. I'm going to be using the tarot cards and oracle cards. I'm going to use I use different spreads for different readings, and I'm just seeing where I'm guided as to how I should do this spread for you today. So we'll see what spread we are given for this. I'm feeling I need to get like a row of 4 cards to begin with. I might need to get another 4. I think I'm going to get 4 tarot cards and 4 oracle cards, actually. And so we're looking at the aspects of the case, how the case will go for the judge. Of course, that's if they follow due process, of course, but it seems like tremendous injustices going on here. So let's see what goes on. Okay, so here, let's get the cards out. So I'm going to move the camera down so you can see we get the cards out. Our beautiful table. So I'm just going to cut the cards. So how So the question, how will the case go for the judge that has been arrested by the FBI? Let's ask the cards. So first card, upside down king. Wow, upside down swords. Upside down lovers. 3 of wands. Okay. So, and I'm actually going to get these cards out as well. These are the Oracle of the Light cards. So the Oracle of the Light deck is a deck designed by me and my husband. And I want to also get the Oracle of the Light deck out too, to see what they say. Let's give them a good shuffle up. So I get these ones out as well. We have the light within, the floating island, the heart, doorway to your dreams, and lotus of Buddha. Really interesting. Okay, so let's see what these cards say. So I'm going to connect the tarot card to the oracle card here as well. So first of all, the King of Cups. I think this is most definitely this is representing the felon's regime. Okay, the felon 45, otherwise known as T. And I think that the fact that this is upside down is that I think that his world could be turned upside down. I think what this could cause is, I think what this case is potentially opening up is a almost like a backlash from this. I think this is to do with a backlash that the felon may find here from the public and from, as they're seeing, they've now arrested a court judge. The FBI have gone in and arrested a court judge for apparently assisting someone to leave, and they were trying to carry out justice, and they wanted to just come in and arrest him and not let that due process happen. So they were almost standing up for injustice, and yet she was standing up for justice. And I think people will see this, and this is why I think this is the felon's universe is going to become collapsing around his head. You know, he's not feeling the love, because the light within, this is to do with the judge. I feel the light within this judge is going to be, do you remember when I don't know if everyone remembers it, but when that vicar spoke to Trump in that service, to felon 45 in that service, it really, really did have such an impact, and she's become almost like a celebrity following that. And I think this judge could do a similar thing here, capture people's hearts and imagination by the fact that such injustice happened again. And this is all at the hands of the felon's regime. But she's powerful lady. I feel this judge is a very powerful lady. She's a lady that follows discipline and stands by the law and will always stand by the law. So I think the light within is the light within of the judge, and the felon does not stand a chance. Okay. So much so that it leads us onto the fact that the Three of Swords. Now, this is to do with the regime attacking the society at its heart. At the core of all society is justice and law of any civilized society, and what this represents is the regime stabbing that in the heart. Okay. And I feel that this represents a regime with this action of arresting the judge as really stabbing this civilized society right at the heart, you know. And I feel felon in the middle there, and his, you know, you got JD and the press secretary probably on this card, all stabbing. Justice is the flower. I feel in this card, justice is the flower. But I feel that again, so what seems to be happening is the oracle cards seem to be representing the judge here, and I feel that this card represents the strength of heart. Because interestingly, the heart, and you see that stabbing the heart there almost with the swords, and then we have the heart, the floating island, and to me, this is the fact that people understand that justice stands for good values. It stands for caring and looking after each other, doing the right thing. And so the justice is going to be strong. It's just that when the right of law and the following of law is actually so strong, actually, and this is the case here. This is going to be unbreakable because this is the rock. Do you see that lovely rock that the tree stood on there? And that tree is almost like represents to me the scales of balance of justice. And you have to have a firm foundation for that. And the firm foundation is the rock, but more than that, the heart, the values, the judgments, the good, compassion and warmth for others, you know? And I feel that that's what this represents, you know? Like, I do feel correct justice is going to prevail here, you know? And almost strengthen. And I think this is all to do with, now what I feel this is also to do with, this case will probably disturb once more a lot of the public and be appalled about this, you know, that they've actually gone into a courtroom and handcuffed a judge when she was trying to carry out her duty of judging someone in the eyes of the law. And yet, so what this is creating is, I think this is to do with an upside down lovers, is to do with a loss of love, the you know, and this is to do with, I feel, the people that used to follow the Felon 45 regime, the MAGAs, they're falling out of love with the regime. This is to do with falling out of love with Felon 45 and the regime. Like they used to be so close and everything, it's no longer that, it's vanishing and dissolving away, you know. I really feel that is the thing here too. Also, I feel as well that with this card too, the lovers, it's really like all of his followers used to see eye to eye with Felon 45, but now they're not, you know. Now almost like the door is opening to the reality of almost like, oh my God, we've been tricked all this time. And it's like this door to freedom is almost good. Because actually when they've been following Felon 45, it's actually been restricting them, actually restricting their views, restricting their visions. But when we believe in ourselves and shine our light, the door opens to opportunities. And so our people, and the door of justice is also going to be working here too. The door of justice is going to be opened here, you know, even wider, I feel. So there's definitely a sense of justice is going to prevail with this reading. I really do feel that. I feel with her case, justice is going to prevail, the right sort of justice, not the sort of justice that doesn't bother with due process and everything. The right justice is going to prevail here, you know. So the next card is the Three of Wands. So I feel this is to do with the freedom of the judge. I feel this is to do with that the judge will, you see this lady is outside, and I feel that the lady is going to be free. She is, you know, she is going to be released and everything. I feel that, but I feel that what this case will do is it will really show what amazing person she is, you know, almost like a Buddha, which is the last card that came up, a Buddha. Now, a Buddha is an enlightened being, and I feel that almost that has such good values, and these two are very similar almost. I really feel that the judge is going to be viewed much highly after this, you know. I feel the judge is going to be seen in much of a greater light than she's seen at the moment, you know. And particularly, I'm aware of the sunshine in this card as well, shining down on her, and I feel that represents the light of everyone for respecting her, for standing up for the right things, you know. Also, I feel as well with this card, as I'm just looking at it, the lotus is also connected to the lotus of Buddha. Do you see that? There's 3 lotuses in the card, and we have the lotus of Buddha. So I do feel this is representative of the judge. She's a good woman. She doesn't break the law. She was following the rule of law by instructing them not to arrest the person in the courtroom, you know. I think it's really important to remember that that these sort of things cannot happen, you know. The fact that they're just throwing away due process, that they're arresting judges while they're trying to carry out their judgments and all that. carry out the right of law. Also, as well, though, I feel that the judge, this is also about the judge too. I'm really aware of her being a very strong lady. I'm aware of her being quite focused in her heart. You know, she knows she's going to be okay here. She knows she's just going to stay calm. She knows that the right thing will prevail here. She's very strong inside, though. I'm feeling the judge is definitely very, very strong as a person, like very unshakable almost. You know, I feel as well as I'm looking at this judge too that I'm really aware of the hair now of the Buddha being drawn together into a bun, and it feels like people are going to come together and really fight for her case. You know, do you see that like almost bun on her head, on the head of the Buddha? I feel that is like a coming together, but it's going to bring people together. It's going to really, really, really sort of make them stand up for justice. You know. So what I want to do now, I want to go over a quick reflection of it all, looking back at the question: how will this case go for the judge that's been arrested? How will this case go for the judge that's been arrested by the AFPA? Well, for start off, the felons 45. This is gonna add even more things to the list of the things that are going to be against felon 45 here. You know, it's going to be part of what brings the kingdom down. You know, this is the strength of the judge, that great inner strength. You know, that light within. This judge is a very strong person, and it's that light within that is gonna come back, you know, because they're trying to stab at the heart of justice right now by arresting judges, but they're not going to win because the judge has a very strong heart. He's very, very strong, strong character, strong person, stands by the law, and really does stand by things. Because this to me is that even though they're trying to stab at the heart, it's going to go wrong because it's upside down. You see, this card's upside down, which means it's all going to go wrong. That she has a strong heart, and also the tree representing the scales of balance of justice. Justice is going to come in, you know. And it's also, this is going to add even more things that make people lose their love with MAGA and with felon 45. That love is lost, and it's getting. We already know the percentage rating of felon 45 is very low, and it's going to get even lower. That's card saying to me. And as justice does swoop in, the door to more opportunities for people is going to open up. And the door of justice is going to be open there and opening for people. And the door of justice is going to be closing itself and locking itself on the right people too. I don't know the time scale of that, but eventually the door of justice will come visiting some. And this says really this judge is a very strong person, a very strong, calm individual. Who knows the right things, who has a lot of support shaded down on her. I think that this does show by the sum that a lot of people are going to be giving their support to the judge, really giving her support, shining down on her, and they're going to make it aware. I think there's going to be potentially some big protests or something like that going on around this, it feels like. And also, the Lotus of Buddha also feels like she's just such a strong character and a bringing together of people. There is going to be a coming together of people as the felon 45 regimes tries to sort of come in on the really heart of justice. I feel that people are going to even more come together and say, no, that's not right. This isn't civilized. It's not what we do in a civilized world, you know. Yeah. So these are all of the cards in the reading. I'll just take the question off. There you go. That's all the cards there, everyone. So listen, everyone, that brings us to the end of the show, but I really, really do hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Don't forget, if you did enjoy it, to give us a thumbs up and do subscribe below. It really, really does make such a difference and means so much. So listen, with the love and the light from the Oracle of the Light, I will see you all really soon, everybody. Take care. See you later.